In a waiting room, tremors run through a man's folded hands. A sign reads David E. Gallo Neurology Outpatient Center.
It's just part of who Jeff is.
With short gray hair and glasses, Jeff grips the arm of his chair.
It's just interesting to see, what this phenomenon is that's affecting his body and how he copes with it and how we all cope with it.
Jeff watches a doctor's moving finger.
It's definitely been getting worse in the last few years.
Jeff gives the doctor a smile.
So it's become a bigger and bigger part of our lives.
An exterior view shows a modest two-story home. Inside, Jeff and his wife move around the kitchen.
So, hon, I'm gonna hang back and watch you make breakfast.
That sounds good. Okay.
She sits on a stool at the counter. Jeff opens the freezer and takes out a gallon bag filled with bagels. His hands shake as he removes 2 poppy seed bagels and reseals the bag. A knife trembles in his hand as he struggles to steady a tomato on a cutting board.
Jeff loves to cook, and he's a very good cook. He likes to do things himself. But, sometimes he can't open things or he can't cut things. I don't want him cutting his fingers. Most of the time, he will try to do something, and it's always an experiment. It's like your whole life, you're experimenting constantly to see what you can do and what you can't do. So mainly, I just do what Jeff asks me to do.
She slices the tomato. Photos of Jeff.
I'm 61 years old right now, and at some point in either my very late teens or early 20s, when I was doing a lot of backpacking and rock climbing, I discovered what at that time I thought was my just losing the stomach for rock climbing. I was getting a little shaky when I was on a climb. At that time, I just assumed maybe I wasn't cut out for rock climbing after all. I discovered many years later that I had a neurological condition called essential tremor that I did inherit. My mother had essential tremor. My father did not. It's an intention tremor, totally influenced by emotion. You don't see it, but as soon as I go to do something, especially a fine motor skill something, boom, it hits. Too much of a challenge. Common things like writing and feeding yourself really bring it on much more. It is a neurological disorder that gets progressively worse with age, and that has been the case for me. And so as I've gotten older, I've been put in a position of needing to find ways to adapt.
Jeff and his wife sit down to eat.
Just in case you wouldn't otherwise notice, Shelley's utensils and mine are different. My utensils are weighted. It's the resistance that's important. They're heavier because it makes it easier to not spill stuff. Like if I did this one-handed, the cream cheese would probably be in Shelley's face or on the window or something, because my tremor is very jerky.
You want me to do it?
No, let me just.
Keep drying?
Yeah, I mean, this is me trying to spread cream cheese one-handed, and I could do it two-handed, except then the bagel moves.
A doctor.
It's kind of interesting. You can see it when you watch people with essential tremor. As they get close to the target, to what they want to do, touch, their tremor becomes more exaggerated. The closer he gets to the target, the more off he will be.
Jeff puts onions on his bagel.
It was very difficult to feel comfortable in a social setting. Would you mind?
Shelley stirs a yogurt cup for him.
Because so many social settings include eating and drinking, that the tremor would be worse. And I would feel like people would be judging me. I discovered that if people knew about my tremor, it was so much easier.
He holds his wrist as he spoons yogurt on cereal.
His tremor is one of the more severe ones that one will see. Yeah.
At the dining table, Jeff lifts his bagel sandwich in both hands. Shelley watches his hands quake.
Whoa, it's really bad.
Uh-huh.
Jeff takes a bite and nods down at the sandwich as he chews.
But this is really good.
Is it worse at the moment than it would ordinarily be if we weren't here?
Yes. Yeah.
Jeff nods to the film crew.
So when we're eating breakfast, we often read the newspaper. And we can read the paper one, or I have the newspaper on my Kindle.
The Kindle sits on a stand.
In some ways, the paper one is more convenient, except they don't make the pages that easy to turn. It's a lot easier to read it on here.
He powers it on.
Though I wish they didn't make these buttons so hard to push, but then, you know, turning pages is just a touch. At times I like to read, you know, when I'm out and about, but it's basically the same idea.
Jeff is Mr. Tech. This is a great opportunity for him to try all the latest. I mean, he's so creative in figuring out new things and coming up with new things.
I came up with the idea of reading at night with a Kindle being held up over my head because I really had no other choice. I couldn't turn pages well enough, and I literally did tear pages sometimes accidentally, and it was clear that wasn't working. This is the only mouse that I have found after trying many, many different technologies.
The size of a paperback with a joystick.
The thing that's so good about it is that it wants to come back to center point. So there's a little bit of resistance there. I do a fair amount of typing, but one of the challenges is if you're going to do a capital letter, you can't use both hands together. But I've got a little special keypad here, so it saves me having to do the Control-C or the Control-V. When I text someone, having the good predictive helps, but typing is probably the hardest thing for me. And, you know, if I'm in a theater or in a restaurant or something, I'm not going to be going like this, talking to my phone. Actually, sometimes I do in a restaurant very quietly, but sometimes I just need to type. Easier by far is to speak it. So now I am dictating, and my hands do not need to do a thing. I know that for a lot of people, technologies like that liftware spoon, just something that cancels out the tremor, is a really valuable technology. For me, it's not as helpful given the jerkiness of my tremor. My ideal technology would be if somebody could invent a fingerless glove, so I would still have access to my fingertips, but that would go up my arm, you know, past the elbow, that would provide resistance so that my tremor can't control my movement so totally.
Now he puts tomato slices in a container.
Interestingly enough, the best medication for people with essential tremor is alcohol, which obviously is not a kind of medication you want to take as medication. When it wears off, it doesn't just wear off. My tremor is worse.
Eventually there may be a pill or something so that one doesn't actually have to drink alcohol and have all of the bad effects. But for the time being, it's really the only way that he can eat or drink in public.
You would be shocked at the reduction in my tremor when I've had a serving of alcohol.
He seals the tomato container and heads toward the fridge. Now the garage door opens and Jeff climbs into the driver's seat of his car. He looks over his shoulder as he backs down the driveway. The garage door slides shut. Parked at the end of the driveway, Jeff taps his phone, which sits in a holder over his dashboard display screen. He opens Google Voice Search, and a red circle forms around a microphone as words appear. Speak now.
Piedmont Avenue, Oakland, California.
A map appears on his phone screen, and he taps a start navigation icon. Jeff drives down a wooded 2-lane street.
All right. Every time I get into the car, my phone automatically links up to the car via Bluetooth. And if I want to call Shelley, I can press this little button on my steering wheel.
Please say a command.
Phone.
Phone.
Vehicle phone book.
Vehicle phone book. Please say a number.
1.
1. Please say dial.
Dial.
Dialing.
We're fortunate in Oakland to have the thing where if you've got the app on your phone, you can plug in where you're parked and how long you want to park for, and that'll remind me when my time is about to expire.
Jeff parks, taps his phone, and gets out of the car. Now he sits in the waiting room at David E. Gallo Neurology Outpatient Center.
Every year I try to come in, just benchmark how it's going.
A doctor steps out to meet him, then leads him down a hallway to an exam room. Jeff sits in a chair, laces his fingers together, and props his foot up on his knee.
Mr. Becker, how have you been since I last saw you?
I have been doing well.
Has the tremor changed in any appreciable manner?
As always, just trending a little shakier.
A little shakier. So let's do a few things. Bring your shoulders up like this and bring your hands out in front of yourself. Okay, and we can see a bit of...
His hands tremble.
They say the odds are about 50-50 that if one of your parents has essential tremor, that one of the children will have it.
It looks like our daughter has essential tremor too, although she's just 21.
Jeff holds up a finger and his hand shakes severely as he moves it between the doctor's finger and his own chin. Jeff scribbles, trying to draw spirals and lines.
This was something that you did actually 10 years ago, so you can see things have changed, somewhat.
Wow, that's 10 years ago.
10 years.
One page shows neat spirals terminating in dots with lines of varying thickness between them. The other shows squiggles.
For me, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I love my sweet husband, and it's perfectly fine for me to sign checks and fill out forms and things. It's just part of living together, and people help each other out, so that's what I see my job doing. And our daughters are also very thoughtful and very happy to help whenever Jeff asks for it. It's a much bigger deal for Jeff than it is for us. And often it's kind of funny.
At breakfast, Jeff's hand jerks, flinging his spoon.
I think Jeff has a really good sense of humor about it.
Flying spoon.
The view drifts out of focus, then comes to rest upon origami cranes hanging from strings connected to their kitchen ceiling.